so many people, even though I always tried to do the right thing, that I thought that I had finally hit rock bottom. The whole situation had gotten so far out of control. I just needed a way to get away from everybody and everything and do it in such a way that no one would come after me.
By trying to kill yourself?
After I told Emily that we weren't going to get married, I went home and I got the gun out of the safe. I just kept seeing her face. She was very hurt and betrayed. And I couldn't get that out of my mind, so I went to the woods and I found a place by the river. And I pulled the trigger.
It's amazing you survived. Then what happened?
Woke up a few hours after. I was weak, delirious, lost a lot of blood. And I started to wander, stumbled on a cabin. Figured out how to get in and didn't go anywhere and stayed there until I could move. It was abandoned, I guess, because there was enough food for me to survive. Medical supplies.
So you were able to nurse yourself back to health, all alone, with no help from anyone?
That's correct.
Why bother?
What?
I mean, you said you had hit rock bottom, you wanted to die.
Well, when I didn't die, I thought that meant something. I figured it was some kind of sign that there was still something left for me to do.
Like what?
Make sure that Emily was okay. And, I had to make sure that Jennifer was going on with her life. I even started to hope that Jennifer would forgive me for lying to her about her baby.
So that's why you didn't run when you had the chance?
I thought about running, believe me. I thought about a lot of different destinations, but like I said, I still had loose ends to tie up.
And now you're right back where you were on New Year's Eve, about to be sent to prison.
Minus the fiancé. There's no going back.
Emily, I really need to speak to Paul alone. Please.
What? What's wrong?
How about everything you just told me?
That's what happened. That's my story.
And you're sticking with it. Okay, fine. For now. But you have bigger problems. Hal isn't worried about how you survived for months in the woods all alone. He wants to know who was in that motel room with you, and obviously you two had one hell of a fight. So who was it, Paul? Tell me what happened.
There you are. I was beginning to think all my dire predictions about Paul had come true. I had this very clear mental picture of you pacing back and forth in a jail cell.
Well, you know what? You can erase those thoughts from your head because I'm in the clear. He's not turning me in.
Whoa. And we know this how?
He told me.
You've seen him?
Yes, I was just at the hospital.
Did you leave him breathing?
That is not funny, Henry. We've all moved on. You know, even Paul.
You're telling me that he has forgiven you for shooting?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he forgives me.
Okay, well, now wait a second. If I were trapped in a bed, looking up at the woman who'd put a bullet in my body, I guess I'd say the same thing.
No, he meant it. I could tell.
How is he?
Pretty battered. Dusty did a real number on him.
Yeah, thanks to you. For someone who claims to want to care for the man, you seem to really be plotting his demise.
No, because it was a bad call, okay? I know that. Telling Dusty where Paul was. I regretted it as soon as I did it.
It's always after the fact with you, it is. But I'm glad to hear that Paul's going to make it. Any news on how Dusty fared in the showdown?
No, I don't know.
Really? Because a little bird told me that they found 2 sets of blood stains at the motel. Wouldn't that be ironic if, after sending Dusty off to do your dirty work, he's the one that got all...
I'm sure Dusty is just fine, Henry.
Okay. Let's talk about the white elephant in the room. Did you find anything, about what's going on with Paul and Meg?
Paul said the only reason Meg helped him was for the money.
Despite the kiss that you witnessed?
I guess it wasn't what it seemed.
Well, what was it then? It could have been CPR, some other kind of life-saving
He doesn't
action.
love her.
What are you saying? You think he still loves you?
I saw it in his eyes.
Give you a little word of caution. Men like Paul, actions speak a lot louder than looks.
I know what I saw, Henry. And in spite of everything he said, I still think the 2 of us have a second chance.
Until he finds out that you're the one who sent Dusty to the motel, and then, my dear, your duck a la orange is cooked.
No. See, that's just the thing. He never said a word about Dusty. And I'm sure as hell not about to. And neither are you.
All right. Tell me what you do remember.
Somebody came at me from behind. I never saw a face.
Do you really expect anyone to believe that?
It is what it is. Could you call a nurse for me? Because I'm starting to not feel so good.
Paul, the only way that I can help you is if you are honest with me. Now, it's only a matter of time before the police find out whose blood it is in that room.
I have a lot of enemies.
And what if one of them decides to come forward? If they can still talk, they probably will. If they can't, you can bet Hal's going to do his best to find out why not.